doors!
The moment Emma opened the worn envelope, a scream tore from her throat. Her whole life was a lie. Her hands shook as she stared at the faded birth certificate, the name Emma Carter crossed out and replaced with Lily Brooks, proof that she'd been swapped at birth with another girl, Sarah, who'd lived the rich life she was denied. For 18 years, Emma had scrubbed floors and stitched clothes in the gritty streets of Chicago, raised by the struggling Carter family, while Sarah basked in the luxury of the wealthy Brooks clan. Now, the Carters, her real family, had found her, demanding she return to them with cold promises of money, but eyes full of strangers' stares. Betrayal burned in her chest like a wildfire. She crumpled the paper, vowing to walk away forever. Why had they waited so long? What did they really want? Emma's mind raced, her heart pounding with a mix of rage and hurt. She glanced at the cracked mirror in her tiny apartment, seeing a girl who'd fought for every scrap, only to learn she belonged somewhere else, yet felt no welcome there. The curiosity gnawed at her, a hook she couldn't shake. She had to know more, but the thought of facing those people made her stomach twist. Stay or go? The question hung heavy, a wall keeping her glued to the spot, forcing her to decide. Tears stung her eyes as she packed a small bag, her fingers brushing the locket her adoptive mom, Mrs. Carter, had given her, a symbol of love now tainted by this cruel twist. The Carters' offer of cash felt like a bribe, a way to buy her silence while keeping her at arm's length. Pride swelled in her throat. She wouldn't be their puppet. With a final glance at the only home she'd known, Emma stepped into the chilly night, her footsteps echoing with determination. She'd find her own path, away from their pity. Meanwhile, across town, Sarah Brooks, now revealed as the Carters' true daughter, stepped into a modest house in a rough Chicago neighborhood. The Carters, a hard-working family of 5, greeted her with warm hugs and tired smiles. Her new brothers, Jake, Tom, Mike, and Ben, clapped her on the back, their calloused hands showing years of labor. Sarah's heart swelled with a strange relief. The Brooks mansion had been a golden cage, filled with rules and cold stares. Here she felt alive. "Let's start a coffee stall," she blurted, her voice bright with hope. The brothers grinned, promising to help her sell the best brews in town, their laughter filling the room. Days passed in a blur. Sarah sketched plans for the stall, her brothers hammering signs and spreading the word on every corner. Then, a shadow loomed. Mr. Daniel Hale, a kind man whose life Sarah had saved years ago during a fire at the Brooks estate, appeared at the door. His eyes softened as he watched her, a secret promise flickering in them. Could he love her? The thought made her cheeks flush, but she pushed it aside, focusing on her dream. Back in her new solitude, Emma landed a job at the Hale Group, a sleek office tower downtown, as an assistant to Mr. Noah Reed. The Carters had pushed her there, hoping she'd learn business skills, though their tone dripped with doubt. The office buzzed with tension. Noah, a sharp-eyed boss with a quiet charm, assigned her tasks, but his fiancée, Jessica, glared from across the room. Jealousy twisted Jessica's face as Emma excelled, her quick mind solving problems Noah praised. Emma's brothers, still loyal despite everything, visited often, their fists clenched against the whispers of sabotage from the Carters. One rainy afternoon, a crash echoed through the office. A chandelier fell, narrowly missing Noah, and Emma's scream caught in her throat. Chaos erupted as masked figures stormed in, dragging Noah away. Emma's heart pounded. Kidnappers! Her brothers burst through the door, fighting to save him, but the attackers fled with Noah in tow. Guilt and fear gripped Emma. Had she brought this danger? That night, she sat by the phone, praying for his safety, her loyalty to her new boss deepening. As dawn broke, a twist unraveled. A call came. Noah was free, rescued by a rival gang who'd turned on the kidnappers. But his voice trembled as he thanked Emma, his eyes meeting hers later with a look that wasn't just gratitude. Jessica stormed out, her engagement ring glinting as she slammed the door. Emma's breath hitched. Did Noah feel something more? The thought both thrilled and terrified her, a secret brewing beneath the surface. The chapter ends with Emma standing alone by the office window, rain streaking the glass like her tears. She clutched the locket, her heart a storm of regret and hope. Noah's proposal lingered in the air, unspoken but real, a punch of empowerment lifting her from the ashes of betrayal. The viewers are left hanging, desperate to see if love will heal her wounds or if darker secrets await.
The air crackled with tension as Sarah stood in the cramped Carter kitchen, her hands trembling over a tray of cupcakes. It was her birthday, and the modest house buzzed with laughter from Jake, Tom, Mike, and Ben, her new brothers, who decorated the room with paper chains and a lopsided welcome home sign. But outside, shadows loomed. Emma, burning with resentment, had rallied the Brooks family to crash the party, their fancy cars rolling up like a storm cloud. Sarah's heart sank. Why couldn't they let her be happy? The door burst open and Emma stormed in, her eyes blazing. "This is my family, not yours," she shouted, shoving a stack of papers, legal claims to the Carter name, into Sarah's hands. The room froze, gasps cutting through the music. Sarah's brothers stepped forward, fists clenched, but Mr. Daniel Hale, who'd arrived with a shy smile and a bouquet, held them back. His presence calmed the chaos, his voice steady as he said, "Let's hear her out." Curiosity gripped everyone. What was Emma's next move? Emma's voice shook with rage. "The Carters paid me off to leave, but I won't let you steal my life." She glared at Sarah, who clutched the papers, her mind racing. The Brooks had disowned Sarah after the swap was revealed, leaving her with nothing but the Carters' love. Yet Emma's words stung. Had she been wrong to feel at home here? The tension built, a wall of doubt keeping Sarah rooted, her heart pounding with fear of losing it all. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she dropped the papers, her voice breaking. "I didn't ask for this. I just want to belong." The brothers surrounded her, their arms a shield of loyalty, while Daniel stepped closer, his hand brushing hers. Outside, the Brooks lawyer shouted threats, but inside, the Carter home glowed with warmth. Sarah wiped her eyes, resolve hardening. She'd fight for this family, coffee stall and all. Meanwhile, across town, Emma sat in Noah's office, her fingers tapping the desk. The kidnapping had shifted something. Noah's gratitude had turned to long glances, his fiancée Jessica gone after the fallout. But the Hale group buzzed with new danger. Jessica, now vengeful, had leaked secrets to a rival firm, and Emma's desk was piled with angry emails. Her brothers burst in, their faces grim. "She's trying to ruin you," Tom warned, his voice tight. Emma's chest tightened. Betrayal again? She'd trusted Jessica's silence. Noah appeared, his jaw set. "We'll fix this," he said, his hand on her shoulder sending a jolt through her. Together they worked late, unraveling Jessica's plot. Stolen contracts, fake leads. Emma's pride swelled. She wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. But a shadow fell. CCTV footage showed Jessica meeting the kidnappers. Emma's breath caught. Had Jessica orchestrated the attack? The reveal hit like a punch, her trust shattered once more.
The night deepened, and a call came. Daniel, frantic, said the Brooks were at the Carter house, demanding Sarah's return. Emma's heart raced. She had to go. At the party, chaos erupted. The Brooks accused Sarah of fraud, but Daniel stepped forward, his voice booming. "She saved my life once. She's more a Carter than you'll ever be." Then a twist. DNA results, hidden by the Brooks, proved Sarah was their true heir, the wealthiest family's lost daughter. Gasps filled the room as Emma's claims crumbled. Sarah clung to her brothers, tears of joy mixing with shock, while Emma stood frozen, her world collapsing. The Brooks fled, their pride in ruins. Daniel knelt, offering Sarah a ring, a proposal born of love, not wealth. Emma turned away, regret choking her, her locket heavy with the weight of her choices. The chapter ends with Sarah's laughter ringing out, a punch of empowerment, while Emma vanishes into the night, her heart a battlefield of lost dreams. Sarah's laughter faded as she clutched Daniel's ring, her heart soaring like a bird finally free. The Carter house glowed with love, the birthday party now a celebration of her true identity as the Brooks' rightful heir. But outside, Emma stumbled through Chicago's dark streets, her chest tight with regret. She'd lost everything: family, pride, even the fake life she'd clung to. The locket in her hand felt like a stone, a reminder of the love she'd thrown away. Could she ever find her way back? Inside, the Carters danced, their coffee stall plans now backed by Sarah's new wealth. Jake, Tom, Mike, and Ben toasted to her happiness, their cheers drowning out the pain of the night. Daniel held Sarah close, his whisper, "I've loved you since the fire," sealing their bond. But a shadow lingered. Sarah glanced at the door, her heart heavy for Emma. "She's still my sister," she whispered, the words a spark of hope in the storm. Across town, Emma slipped into the Hale Group office, her steps heavy. Noah was there, his eyes soft but firm. "You can't run forever," he said, his voice a lifeline. Emma's tears fell as she confessed her part in the Brooks sabotage, her voice breaking. "I just wanted to belong." Noah pulled her close, his warmth melting her walls. The office, once a battlefield, became a sanctuary as they talked through the night, unraveling her pain. But danger struck again. Jessica, furious at her own downfall, had hired thugs to trash the Carters' coffee stall. Emma's brothers called, their voices panicked, tables smashed, signs torn. Emma's blood boiled. This was her fault. She and Noah raced to the scene, finding Sarah and the Carters fighting to save their dream. Emma froze, shame rooting her to the spot. Sarah turned, her eyes locking on Emma's, a silent question hanging between them. The thugs lunged, but Emma sprang forward, shielding Sarah with her body. A bat grazed her arm, pain searing through her, but she held firm. "I'm sorry," she gasped, tears mixing with blood. Sarah's arms wrapped around her, forgiveness unspoken, but real. The brothers chased off the attackers, their loyalty a fortress. Noah helped Emma stand, his hand steady, and in that moment, a final twist. He knelt, a ring glinting in his hand. "Marry me," he said, his voice raw. Emma's breath caught, empowerment surging through her. She wasn't alone anymore. The sun rose over Chicago, the coffee stall rebuilt by noon, a symbol of resilience. Sarah and Daniel planned their wedding, the Carters' laughter, a melody of freedom. Emma, her arm bandaged, stood with Noah, her locket now a bridge to new beginnings. The story ends with the sisters linking hands, their shared past a scar, but not a chain, a punch of redemption that leaves the heart full and the future bright.